presidential contest, that is, ruling party candidate John Magufuli has maintained his lead in the results so far released. He comes ahead of his closest rival, Edward Lowassa, of the opposition Chadema's party. We now want to cross over to Tanzania, where John Namu has been following the developments there. And John, what's the latest at this hour?
All right, well, the latest is that as at 31 constituencies of the 69 remaining constituencies left, John Pombe Magufuli has led in all except for 2, and as at that count, he had added to his tally 1,260,267 votes to Edward Lowassa's 750,118. That's one out of the 31 constituencies that had been counted by the time we were going on air, out of the 69. So that projection means that John Magufuli Pombe is likely to be the next president of the Republic of Tanzania. It is almost statistically impossible that Edward Lowassa would catch up at this point. For Edward Lowassa to catch up at this point, he would need in every one of the 38 constituencies remaining an outright majority victory of over 40,000 votes per constituency. That makes it nearly impossible, statistically speaking, for Edward Lowassa of Chadema to win this election. Therefore, we can now project as KTN that John Pombe Magufuli will be the next president of the Republic of Tanzania. I'll just go through those figures again. The tally as at 31 constituencies of the 69 remaining constituencies counted have it that John Magufuli had added 1,260,267 votes to his tally, bringing that up to over 7.4 million votes for John Magufuli and CCM at the presidential race, and Edward Lowassa having 750,118 more votes as at 31 constituencies out of the 69 counted, bringing him to a total tally of 4,610, beg your pardon, meaning that once again Edward Lowassa would need over 40,000 votes in an outright majority victory, meaning that out of the 8 aspirants who are aspiring to be president, all of the 8 would have to get 0 votes, and he'd have to get over 40,000 votes in the remaining 38 constituencies just to be able to catch up to John Pombe Magufuli. Therefore, the projection is that John Pombe Magufuli will be the next president of the Republic of Tanzania, Ian.
Thank you for those updates, John. Now, we're still seeing the National Electoral Commission counting the votes despite, tallying the votes rather, despite this being contested widely by the opposition. We saw Edward Lowassa rejecting the results. What is the next step for the opposition?
Well, the next step for the opposition is yet to be announced. The deputy, the running mate of Edward Lowassa, was supposed to be addressing a press conference as these results were being announced. But constitutionally speaking, they have no recourse in court. They cannot go to court to challenge this election, which is by now a foregone conclusion, with John Pombe Magufuli reaching that statistical magical number where his lead is now unassailable. Therefore, Chadema cannot be able to have any sort of constitutional claim to this, something that was a complaint prior to the election, but now, as it is currently under the current constitution, John Pombe Magufuli will likely stand as a president, and Edward Lowassa would have to make some political claim, but not one that can be challenged in court according to the laws here in Tanzania.
And Namu, yesterday we also saw the results for Zanzibar being announced. Does this in any way constitutionally affect what is happening in Tanzania?
According to the chairman of the NEC and retired Justice Damian Lubuva, it does not affect what is happening on mainland Tanzania. What is happening indeed right now on that podium with the vice chair of the NEC announcing results, because according to Lubuva, the constitutional clauses that bring into force the NEC that we have behind me and the ZEC as it's called here locally, are 2 separate clauses and are mutually exclusive. Therefore, the NEC and the ZEC can operate mutually exclusively of one another, and one result would not affect the other. Therefore, they are going to proceed with accounting of these results and likely name John Magufuli as the next president, as we here at KTN have projected.